Hey everyone, welcome to English Pod, where we make learning English fun with How I Met Your Mother. In this series, I'll break down keywords, slang, idioms, and cultural references from each episode to help you improve your English naturally. Watch before or after the episode to boost your understanding. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's dive in. Here's a vocabulary list from How I Met Your Mother Season 1. Episode 4, Return of the Shirt, with meanings and examples. 1. Happily ever after phrase. Meaning, a happy and satisfying ending, usually in a romantic story. Example, Ted believed that every relationship should end in happily ever after, but reality was different. 2. Booger. Meaning, a piece of dried mucus from the nose, used humorously. Example, Barney bet Robin $50 to say booger on live TV, but she refused. 3. Fluff pieces. Meaning, light, entertaining, or less serious news stories. Example, Robin was tired of doing fluff pieces about babies and old people instead of real journalism. 4. Jeopardize. Meaning, to put something in danger or at risk. Example, Robin didn't want to jeopardize her promotion by saying something silly on air. 5. Bourbon. Meaning, a type of whiskey made in the U.S., especially in Kentucky. Example, Ted was surprised that he suddenly liked bourbon, even though he had always hated it before. 6. Second impressions. Meaning, changing one's opinion after reevaluating something or someone. Example, Ted decided to give some of his past relationships a second impression, just like he did with his shirt. 7. Breast implants. Meaning, artificial enhancements for increasing breast size. Example, Barney joked that the only reason to date an ex was if she got breast implants. 8. Porn industry. Meaning, the business of making adult films. Example, Ted was shocked when his ex-girlfriend revealed she had worked in the porn industry. 9. Hitchhiker. Meaning, a person who gets free rides from passing vehicles. Example, Jackie casually admitted to hitting a hitchhiker with her car and never stopping. 10. Sock monkey. Meaning, a stuffed toy monkey made from socks. Example, Ted remembered Natalie's collection of sock monkeys when he thought about dating her again. 11. Break up with someone. Meaning, to end a romantic relationship. Example, Ted broke up with Natalie over voicemail on her birthday, which was a terrible mistake. 12. Answering machine. Meaning, a device that records messages when a call is missed. Example, Natalie was furious when Ted broke up with her via an answering machine message. 13. Sack. Slang. Noun, informal. Meaning, in this context, courage or bravery. Example, Lily accused Ted of not having the sack to break up with Natalie in person. 14. Desperate sex. Noun, informal. Meaning, intense or emotional sex, often due to fear of losing someone. Example, Barney claimed that please don't leave me sex is amazing. 15. Krav Maga. Noun, meaning, a self-defense martial art developed for the Israeli military. Example, Ted had no idea what Krav Maga was when Natalie mentioned she practiced it. 16. Ineffable. Adjective, meaning, too great or extreme to be described in words. Example, Ted couldn't explain why he didn't love Natalie, he just called it ineffable. 17. Cliché. Noun, meaning, an overused phrase or idea that has lost its originality. Example, Marshall believed that I'm not ready for a commitment was a classic breakup cliché. 18. Honking. One's own boobs. Phrase, slang. Meaning, in this context, squeezing one's chest in a humorous or exaggerated way. Example, Robin was embarrassed that she ended a news broadcast by honking her own boobs. 19. Metro News 1. Proper noun, meaning, a fictional low-rated news channel where Robin works. Example, Robin realized that no one, not even her boss, actually watched Metro News 1. 20. The Ike Shuffle. Noun, cultural reference, meaning, a dance made famous by American football player Albert Ike Woods. Example, Barney dared Robin to do the Ike Shuffle live on TV for a cash prize. Here's a list of phrases from How I Met Your Mother Season 1. Episode 4, Return of the Shirt, with meanings and examples. 1. Happily ever after, meaning, a perfect and happy ending, often used in fairy tales. Example, Ted wanted every relationship to have a happily ever after, But real life didn't work that way. 2. Second impression, meaning a changed opinion after reevaluating someone or something. Example, Ted believed in giving second impressions, so he tried dating his ex-girlfriend again. 3. Water under the bridge, meaning something in the past that is no longer important. Example, Ted hoped Natalie would see his past mistake as water under the bridge, but she didn't. 4. Shoot myself in the foot, meaning to make a mistake that causes problems for oneself. Example, Robin refused to say booger on live TV because she didn't want to shoot herself in the foot professionally. 5. Put in a good word for someone, meaning to recommend or say positive things about someone. Example, Marshall offered to put in a good word for Robin with her boss. 6. Jeopardize my career, meaning to risk losing or damaging one's job or professional future. Example, Robin didn't want to jeopardize her career by doing something silly on air. 7. Turn over a new leaf, meaning to make a fresh start or change for the better. Example, Ted thought he was turning over a new leaf by giving old relationships another chance. 8. Go out on a limb, meaning to take a risk or make a bold decision. Example, Ted went out on a limb by calling his ex-girlfriends to see if they'd date him again. 9. Kick my ass, meaning to physically or metaphorically defeat someone. Example, Natalie literally kicked Ted's ass using Krav Maga after he broke up with her again. 10. Break up with someone, meaning to end a romantic relationship. Example, Ted realized he had to break up with Natalie face-to-face this time. 11. The final nail in the coffin, meaning the last action that ends something completely. Example, Ted breaking up with Natalie on her birthday was the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. 12. Do me a solid informal, meaning do me a favor. Example, Barney asked Robin to do him a solid by saying booger on the news. 13. Cold turkey, meaning to quit something suddenly and completely. Example, Ted quit drinking bourbon cold turkey after realizing he never liked it. 14. Make a fool of oneself, meaning to embarrass oneself. Example, Robin refused to make a fool of herself on live TV just for money. 15. Sweep someone off their feet, meaning to impress someone romantically. Example, Ted hoped to sweep Natalie off her feet, but she was still angry about the past. 16. It's not you, it's me, meaning a cliché excuse used when breaking up with someone. Example, Ted avoided saying it's not you, it's me, because he knew it sounded insincere. 17. Take the high road, meaning to behave in a mature, ethical, or respectable way in a difficult situation. Example, Ted thought he was taking the high road by breaking up with Natalie in person this time. 18. Make peace with something, meaning to accept a difficult or upsetting situation. Example, Natalie never made peace with the way Ted dumped her the first time. 19. Go all out, meaning to put in maximum effort. Example, Ted went all out to impress Natalie with a romantic date. 20. Live and learn, meaning to gain wisdom from experience, especially after making mistakes. Example, after being attacked by Natalie, Ted simply said, live and learn. Here are the cultural references from How I Met Your Mother, Season 1, Episode 4, Return of the Shirt, with meanings and examples. 1. Krav Maga, meaning a self-defense and fighting system developed for the Israeli military. It focuses on real-world situations and efficient counterattacks. Example, Natalie used her Krav Maga skills to physically attack Ted after he dumped her again. 2. It's not you, it's me. Breakup cliché, meaning a common excuse people use when breaking up with someone to avoid blaming them. Example, Ted knew that saying it's not you, it's me would sound fake, so he tried to avoid it when dumping Natalie. 3. Indigo Girls. Music reference, meaning an American folk rock music duo known for their emotional and socially conscious songs. Example, Ted mistakenly thought Natalie loved the Indigo Girls, but she actually hated them. 4. Booger on the news. Comedy gag, meaning Robin was dared to say booger while delivering serious news, playing on the idea that news anchors must remain professional. Example, Barney offered Robin $50 if she said booger on air, testing her professionalism. 5. Gandhi as an insult. Historical reference, meaning Mahatma Gandhi was a leader of India's nonviolent independence movement. Calling someone Gandhi sarcastically suggests they are passive or too idealistic. Example, Natalie got angry when Ted called her Gandhi because it implied she was too peaceful to fight back. 6. Meatballs as a breakup meal, meaning a humorous exaggeration of how some people pick the wrong moments to break bad news. Ted broke up with Natalie while she was enjoying a meatball sub, making it worse. Example, Ted learned the hard way that breaking up with someone mid-meatball sub is a terrible idea. 7. Go to your happy place. Self-help term, meaning a mental exercise where a person imagines a peaceful, happy scenario to escape stress or discomfort. Example, Robin advised Ted to go to his happy place when dealing with the consequences of his breakup. 8. Birthday breakups, romantic cliché, meaning the idea that breaking up with someone on their birthday is especially cruel and socially unacceptable. Example, Ted didn't realize he was breaking up with Natalie on her birthday. Again. We'll break down some important grammar rules using examples from Season 1. Episode 4, Return of the Shirt, present perfect versus past simple. The first grammar point we're looking at is present perfect versus past simple. We use the present perfect for actions that happened at an unspecified time before now, or actions that have a connection to the present. On the other hand, we use the past simple for actions that happened at a specific time in the past. Here are some examples from the episode. Ted says, I've been thinking about my old girlfriends. This is present perfect. Ted started thinking in the past, and he's still thinking about them now. Now compare it to this. I dated Natalie 3 years ago. This is past simple because we have a clear time reference. 3 years ago. Let's try another example. Listen to these 2 sentences. Robin has never had a serious relationship. Present perfect. Ted broke up with Natalie over the phone. Past simple. Did you hear the difference? The first one is general, Robin's whole life experience. The second is a specific event that happened in the past. Quick tip, if there's a time word like yesterday, last week, 3 years ago, or in 2010, use past simple. Chapter 2, modal verbs for advice and regret. Next, let's talk about modal verbs like should, shouldn't, must, and would have. We use should for advice, shouldn't to say something was a bad idea, must for strong rules, and would have for past regrets. From the episode, maybe you should call Natalie. Ted is getting advice. You shouldn't have broken up with her on her birthday. This expresses regret. You must never break up with someone on their birthday. A strong rule. I would have stayed with her if I had known she was the one. Regret about the past. Here's another example. Barney says, you should always have a plan when breaking up with someone. Do you agree? Well, Ted definitely should have thought it through before dumping Natalie twice. Chapter 3, Conditional Sentences. Now, let's move on to conditional sentences, specifically the second and third conditionals. We use the second conditional for imaginary situations in the present or future. Example, if I were you, I wouldn't have broken up with her. Here, the speaker is imagining being in Ted's position. Now, let's look at the third conditional, which is used for regrets about the past. Example, if I had remembered her birthday, I wouldn't have done it. This means Ted forgot her birthday, and he regrets what he did. Chapter 4, Passive Voice. Next up is the passive voice. We use the passive voice when we don't focus on who did the action, but rather what happened. From the episode, I was dumped on my birthday. Here, Natalie is focusing on what happened to her, not who did it. Another example, a surprise party was planned for Natalie. Notice how the focus is on the action, not the person planning it. Try changing this active sentence into the passive voice. Robin reported the news. Did you get? The news was reported by Robin. Awesome. Chapter 5, Reported Speech. Finally, let's talk about reported speech. When we report what someone said, we shift the tense back. Example, direct speech. Ted said I love you. Reported speech. Ted said that he loved her. Here's another example. Direct. Robin said I did it for $50. Reported. Robin said she had done it for $50. Now, let's try one together. Change this direct speech into reported speech. Barney said Robin is a legend. Got it. The answer is, Barney said that Robin was a legend. Well done. And that's a wrap on today's grammar lesson from How I Met Your Mother. Synopsis of How I Met Your Mother, Season 1, Episode 4, Return of the Shirt. Ted realizes that he has been unlucky in love and starts wondering if he made a mistake by breaking up with some of his ex-girlfriends. He reconnects with Natalie, a woman he dumped 3 years ago, and decides to give their relationship another shot. Everything seems to be going well, until he realizes he still doesn't have feelings for her. This time, Ted wants to break up with Natalie, the right way to avoid hurting her like he did before. However, his attempt to be honest backfires when she gets furious, especially since he breaks up with her on her birthday again. Meanwhile, Barney challenges Robin to say an embarrassing word on her news broadcast, leading to a hilarious side plot. The episode explores themes of relationships, breakups, and whether people can truly change. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning new words, phrases, grammar, and cultural references from How I Met Your Mother. I'll be back with the next lesson soon. Until then, bye.